Here, I'm gonna
Which means
open carry
under
mine just in case.
08, no subdivision of the law can pass any criminal law, which means any law that you may have enacted.
How y'all doing?
In your city.
We're just teaching your cops a lesson right now about lawful activity.
Does not make it illegal to carry.
They're learning about the Second Amendment today.
Or a loaded firearm.
What's that? Yes, ma'am.
What you're doing right now is holding gunpoint to a U.S. Army veteran.
You got a gun in your hand too?
To Iraq, who has never committed a crime in his life, who is doing nothing illegal, and you have 3 officers holding me at gunpoint because I have not committed a crime.
No, this is Olmos Park outside of San Antonio.
Are you starting to feel dumb yet?
Are you Renee? Are you the chief? Are you the chief? No, this...
Okay, there we go. Pause button wasn't working. Now, Mike, did you notice anything interesting about what's going on in this situation?
No, I'm just watching and analyzing. I don't want to give commentary yet. You go right ahead, brother.
All right. Well, what I'm noticing is they're all in sort of a standoff situation with a guy that's just got a gun that's strapped to it. I mean, that's slung across his chest, not being held or anything like that. And
this guy back here. Are you the chief?
Hold on. Okay, there we go. What's also interesting is, did you notice that one car that pulled up to the intersection then pulled out after a brief exchange with the person holding the camera?
Of course.
They haven't closed off all the intersections in order to have this standoff situation.
They don't have enough officers right now to do a perimeter, and it seems like that this is all haphazard, and the cops don't know exactly what they're doing at this point. It seems that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing right here, is they do not have the safety of the citizens really a concern in this situation, especially when they didn't have... Pretty much in this situation, you need 4 vehicles. Okay, you got a guy... If there's like a shooter situation... You go in and you try to block off as many directions as possible first, and then you go in. They didn't even do that. So they definitely don't know what the hell they're doing in this city.
Yeah, there's a man with a gun right there.
You're the only one threatening people. You're the only one threatening people, officer. You're the only one.
You already asked if I was going to be violent. I am not. I am not going to shoot anyone. I am not a terrorist.
Are you the police chief?
I am an American citizен.
Are you the police chief?
Get on the ground or disarm myself for not committing a crime.
Are you the police chief? No, we're not getting on the ground.
Get on the ground.
We're not getting on the ground.
I'm going to tell you one more time to get on the ground. I'm not going to tell you again. If you have
For what? What crime?
If you have a license to carry a handgun.
He doesn't need a license to carry a rifle.
If you harm me when not committing a crime, you can go to jail for up to 10 years.
What crime are we committing?
You're interfering with the duties right now.
Well, you have no duty to disarm a law-abiding citizen.
Look, I have to weigh in here for a second. I know that the magistrate tossed out the interfering with public duties charge, but since I was charged with that out in Texas, this cop, this contemptible hog with his fat just spilling up out of his body armor. I mean, look at that guy's chin. I mean, he's got more chins than a Chinese phone book. It's disgusting. But he's like, you're interfering with public duties right now. I mean, what? Like, oh, just fuck off, pig.
Because you can't ask me for a license.
Sir, I'm not doing anything.
Get on the ground.
Hey, look, man, I'm not doing anything.
I am not doing. No! Get back! God damn it! Get back! Turn off the damn.
At this point, he was also tasered when he went down. So just give you that heads up. He was hit in the back, according to the statements that's been made so far.
Yeah, and also, according to News Now Houston, he was wounded by the asphalt, and you can hear this sound like someone dropping a honey-baked ham on the asphalt, and that's CJ's head bouncing off the ground. But go ahead.
Well, and the further add to that, there was a teenage girl that was turned into a vegetable from a similar kind of tasing incident where she was running away.
Right,
and they tased her, and she hit her head on the pavement, which caused her to be brain dead, comatose.
Well, see, that's the kind of stuff that cops can get away with because of qualified immunity and lots of other fun legal stuff. But here's the thing. In most states, it's legal for them to use extreme amounts of force if someone's fleeing, if a crime has been committed, and they have all kinds of legal protections for doing that. And a lot of people don't even know that they can just shoot you in the back in many states if you're fleeing under certain circumstances and get away with it.
Yeah, and let me address something unknown. I'll talk about that in another live stream. How about that? So, this is Strategic Non-Compliance co-host thing. We're going to be talking about Almost Parks today, but maybe tomorrow I'll do a live stream and I'll sit down and talk about that on my live stream drama channel kind of thing. So, I've been probably needing to cover all that stuff. Anyway, back to Almost Park. So let's go ahead and continue on. Now, this is where the handcuffs are going on. This is going to be quite the interesting thing of what continues on.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now.
Son of a bitch! I wasn't even a threat to anybody.
I told you to give me your
Chief,
hand.
you and I spoke.
Turn around.
You and I spoke on the phone, Chief.
All. That's right. I can go to jail for up to 10 years.
Right.
Committed and y'all attack people. Ready to shoot people. Not the first time.
You ready for a lawsuit there, officer? Because you just smacked my head into the ground. And Chief, you know damn well, because you and I spoke on the phone. You and I spoke on the phone, Chief, so you're doing this.
It's assault again.
So it sounds like the police chief is on scene also, which is even worse. If you're listening in on the background stuff, it's a little bit hard to hear, unfortunately.
Well, the police chief and their public information officer is going to have a hard time controlling this narrative in the media because, the police chief was there and responsible for the actions. And I want to talk about Texas just for a quick second and open carry. When I was out there last summer at a protest event, there was Antifa with AK-47s. There was militia people across the street from them, like right-wing militia folks with ARs. There was people open carrying pistols. There's people with long rifles, just milling about all through the crowd. There was even a very large crowd control situation where they had to send in a phalanx of goons with riot batons to fight with Antifa in the middle of all these long rifles, and nobody freaked out. Nobody threw anyone on the ground that was holding a rifle. It was just ridiculous. I mean, there's people sitting around on their porches in Texas all over the place just cleaning their rifles. It's part of the culture there, and this is just a massive overreaction on these cops' parts.
Yeah, and I mean, this is insane. Because they even stated that the Texas law supersedes the city ordinance, and we'll have a video specifically from a month ago. This is an issue that's been going on for over a month with Almost Park.